For years, fans of the hit reality franchise have followed the incredible journey of Jenny and Sumit. Their relationship has survived family opposition, cultural differences, age gap criticism, and countless emotional challenges. Despite all the obstacles, they eventually achieved what many people thought was impossible. They got married and built a life together in India, but one question continues to follow them everywhere. Is Jenny truly happy living in India, or does she secretly dream of returning to the United States? When Jenny first moved to India, she knew her life would change dramatically. She left behind her familiar surroundings, her family, her friends, and the comfort of the country she had called home for decades. It was a massive sacrifice made in the name of love. At the beginning, everything seemed exciting. Jenny was finally able to spend every day with Sumit after years of maintaining a long-distance relationship. The couple had fought so hard to be together that simply waking up in the same home felt like a victory. However, reality soon began to set in. Living in another country is never easy, especially when someone moves later in life. Everyday tasks that once felt simple suddenly become more complicated. Language barriers, cultural expectations, transportation, healthcare systems, and social customs can all create unexpected stress. Jenny often found herself navigating situations that were completely different from what she had experienced in America. Even small activities such as shopping, handling paperwork, or interacting with neighbors could become challenging. At the same time, she was also dealing with another difficult issue: loneliness. Although Sumit was by her side, many viewers noticed that Jenny had limited social connections outside their relationship. Her children and grandchildren remained in America, meaning she missed important family moments. Birthdays, holidays, celebrations, and family gatherings became events she could only experience through phone calls and video chats. For many people, that kind of separation can become emotionally exhausting. Fans began wondering whether Jenny was sacrificing too much for her relationship with Sumit. While love can make difficult choices feel worthwhile, there is always a point where someone starts questioning what they have given up. Adding to the pressure was the ongoing tension with Sumit's family. Even after their marriage, the relationship between Jenny and some members of Sumit's family remained complicated. Over the years, viewers watched emotional confrontations, heated arguments, and painful conversations that left lasting scars. Many people assumed that once the couple got married, those problems would disappear. They didn't. Instead, Jenny often found herself trying to balance her desire for peace with the reality of unresolved family tensions. There were moments when fans could see the emotional weight she was carrying. Some viewers even noticed that Jenny occasionally appeared homesick. Whether it was talking about her daughters, discussing life in America, or reflecting on her past, there were signs that part of her heart still remained thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, Sumit seemed determined to prove that India could be their forever home. He frequently talked about building a future together and creating a stable life where they could enjoy their marriage without constantly worrying about outside opinions. But was that enough? Could love alone compensate for the distance between Jenny and her family? Could she continue adapting to a culture that still felt foreign in certain ways? Or was she quietly considering the possibility of returning to America someday? These questions have fueled endless discussions among fans. Some believe Jenny has fully embraced her life in India and would never leave Sumit behind. Others think that as she grows older, the pull of family, familiarity, and comfort may eventually become impossible to ignore. The truth may be far more complicated than either side realizes. Because for Jenny, this isn't simply a question about geography, it's a question about identity, belonging, and where she truly feels at home. And as we'll see in the next part, there are several surprising reasons why life in India may be more challenging for Jenny than many fans understand. While many fans see Jenny and Sumit's marriage as a success story, the reality of everyday life can be far more complicated than what appears on television. Behind the smiles, vacations, and happy social media updates, Jenny continues to face challenges that would test almost anyone. One of the biggest struggles is adapting to a completely different lifestyle. Moving to another country is difficult at any age, but relocating later in life comes with unique obstacles. By the time most people reach retirement age, they have established routines, familiar habits, and a support system they can rely on. Jenny gave up all of that when she chose to build a life with Sumit in India. Things that once felt normal suddenly became unfamiliar. The food, the customs, the social expectations, and even daily interactions often required adjustment. While Jenny has spent years learning about Indian culture, there are still moments when she feels like an outsider. Many viewers remember how overwhelming some cultural expectations seemed when she first arrived. There were traditions she didn't fully understand and situations where she felt caught between respecting local customs and staying true to herself. Even after all these years, adapting remains an ongoing process. Another major issue is independence. Back in America, Jenny was surrounded by a familiar environment where she knew exactly how things worked. In India, there are times when she depends heavily on Sumit for assistance with tasks, communication, and navigating situations that can be confusing. For someone who spent most of her life being independent, that adjustment can be emotionally challenging. Some fans believe this dependence may create pressure within the relationship. While Sumit often appears happy to help, being someone's primary support system can be demanding over time. Then there is the issue of family. No matter how much Jenny loves India, she cannot easily replace the family she left behind in the United States. Her daughters and grandchildren remain an important part of her life. Every missed birthday, family dinner, holiday gathering, and milestone serves as a reminder of the distance between them. Technology helps bridge the gap, but video calls can never fully replace being physically present. Imagine watching your grandchildren grow up through a screen. Imagine missing important family moments because you live thousands of miles away. That emotional burden can become heavier with each passing year. Health concerns also play a role. As people grow older, access to trusted healthcare becomes increasingly important. Many fans have wondered whether Jenny ever worries about medical care, emergencies, or aging far from her immediate family. These concerns are natural for anyone considering long-term life abroad. While India has many excellent healthcare facilities, comfort often comes from familiarity. Knowing where to go, whom to trust, and having loved ones nearby can provide peace of mind that is difficult to measure. Another challenge is social isolation. When people relocate to a new country, friendships don't automatically appear. Building a social network takes time, effort, and opportunity. Some viewers have noticed that much of Jenny's social life seems centered around Sumit. Although the couple clearly enjoys spending time together, relying primarily on one person for companionship can sometimes lead to feelings of loneliness. Everyone needs friends, community, and connections outside their romantic relationship. Without those connections, even a happy marriage can feel isolating. Yet despite all these obstacles, Jenny continues to stay. That decision says a lot about the strength of her commitment to Sumit. Every challenge she faces is balanced against the love story they fought so hard to protect. After years of family conflict, secrets, and uncertainty, walking away now would mean leaving behind the future they struggled to build together. Still, fans continue asking the same question. Is Jenny staying because she genuinely loves her life in India? Or is she staying because she loves Sumit enough to endure the sacrifices? The answer may lie somewhere in between. As fans continue debating whether Jenny is truly happy living in India, another important question keeps coming up. What about Sumit? If Jenny ever decided she wanted to return to America permanently, would Sumit be willing to leave India behind and start a new life there? At first glance, the answer might seem simple. After everything the couple has endured, many viewers assume they would do whatever it takes to stay together. But when you look closer, the situation becomes far more complicated. For Sumit, India is more than just a place to live. It is his home, his culture, his identity, and the country where his entire family lives. Every memory from his childhood, every important life experience, and nearly every family connection is rooted there. Leaving all of that behind would be a massive decision. Throughout their relationship, fans have watched Sumit fight for Jenny despite intense pressure from relatives and members of his community. He risked damaging family relationships, faced criticism from people around him, and made choices that many believed would permanently change his future. Because of those sacrifices, some viewers believe Sumit has already proven he would do anything for Jenny. However, moving to America presents a completely different challenge. Unlike Jenny, who had previously lived independently and raised a family in the United States, Sumit would be entering an environment that is largely unfamiliar to him. He would have to adapt to a new culture, new social expectations, and a completely different way of life. The same difficulties Jenny experienced in India could suddenly become Sumit's reality in America. Language would not be a major issue, but cultural adjustment can affect anyone regardless of language skills. Simple things such as finding work, building friendships, understanding social norms, and feeling connected to a community often take years. Many immigrants describe feeling isolated during the first stages of relocation, and Sumit would likely face similar challenges. Another important factor is family. Despite the conflicts that have defined much of Jenny and Sumit's story, Sumit's family remains a significant part of his life. Relationships may have been strained at times, but family bonds are often difficult to break completely. Moving thousands of miles away could create a distance that is much harder to manage than occasional disagreements. There is also the emotional side of the decision. For years, Sumit dreamed about creating a life with Jenny in India. He repeatedly spoke about wanting them to settle there and build a future together. Achieving that goal required enormous effort and perseverance. After finally reaching that point, would he really want to start over somewhere else? Some fans think the answer is no. They believe Sumit feels most comfortable in India and would struggle to imagine a permanent future anywhere else. In their view, his connection to his home country is simply too strong. Others disagree. They argue that Sumit's entire relationship history demonstrates a willingness to make difficult sacrifices for love. If Jenny genuinely felt unhappy or isolated, they believe he would seriously consider relocating to support her. Supporters of this theory point out that Sumit has already done things many people thought he would never do. He stood by Jenny during years of controversy. He defended their relationship when others opposed it. And eventually he chose marriage despite enormous pressure from multiple directions. Because of that history, they see him as someone capable of making another life-changing decision if necessary. The truth is that neither option would be easy. If the couple stays in India, Jenny continues living far from her children and grandchildren. If they move to America, Sumit would face many of the same challenges Jenny experienced after leaving her own country. Someone would have to make a sacrifice, and that is what makes their situation so fascinating to fans. There is no perfect solution. Every possible choice comes with benefits and consequences. As the years pass, questions about aging, family, health, and long-term happiness may become even more important than they are today. Eventually, Jenny and Sumit may have to decide not only where they want to live, but where they believe they can build the best future together. After years of ups and downs, Jenny and Sumit's relationship remains one of the most talked about stories in the franchise. From secret online conversations to family conflicts, cultural challenges, and eventually marriage, their journey has been anything but ordinary. But now that the biggest battles appear to be behind them, fans are question, where do Jenny and Sumit go from here? The answer may determine the future of their entire relationship. Over the years, viewers have watched the couple overcome obstacles that would have ended many relationships. They survived long-distance struggles, public criticism, family opposition, and emotional heartbreak. Because of that history, many fans believe they have already proven their commitment to each other. However, lasting love is not only about overcoming dramatic moments, it is also about handling everyday life. And that is where the real challenge begins. As Jenny grows older, practical concerns may become increasingly important. Being close to family, maintaining good health care, and having a reliable support system are factors that many people naturally think about later in life. For Jenny, those concerns are complicated by geography. The people she loves most outside of Sumit are still in the United States. No matter how happy she may be in India, there will always be moments when she wishes her family were closer. At the same time, Sumit's life remains deeply connected to India. His culture, friends, relatives, and personal history are all there. Even after years of conflict with family members, India is still the place where he feels most at home. That creates a difficult reality. If Jenny chooses America, Sumit sacrifices part of the life he has always known. If Sumit chooses India, Jenny continues living far away from many of the people she loves. It becomes a question of balance rather than right or wrong. Some fans predict that the couple will eventually divide their time between both countries. Spending part of the year in India and part in the United States could allow them to maintain connections with both families and cultures. Others believe they will remain in India permanently. Supporters of this idea argue that Jenny has already invested years into building a life there. She has learned to adapt, developed routines, and created a home with Sumit. Starting over again might not feel necessary if she is generally happy with the life they share. There are also viewers who think America may eventually become the better option. Their reasoning is simple. As life circumstances change, priorities often change as well. What feels manageable today may feel very different years from now. Family ties can become stronger, health concerns can become more significant, and the desire to be surrounded by loved ones can grow over time. No one outside the relationship truly knows what Jenny and Sumit discuss behind closed doors. Social media posts and television appearances only show part of the story. The reality is likely much more complex than fans realize. What seems clear, however, is that both Jenny and Sumit have repeatedly demonstrated a willingness to fight for their relationship. That may ultimately be the most important factor. Because whether they live in India, America, or split their time between both countries, their success has never depended solely on location. It has depended on their ability to face challenges together. Ending Jenny and Sumit's story is about more than choosing between India and America. It is about sacrifice, commitment, and the difficult choices people make for love. While fans continue debating where they should live, the couple has already accomplished something many thought was impossible. They built a marriage despite overwhelming odds. The future remains uncertain, and new challenges will undoubtedly appear along the way. But if their past has proven anything, it is that Jenny and Sumit rarely choose the easy path. The biggest question now is not whether they love each other. The biggest question is where that love will lead them next. Will Jenny eventually return to America? Will Sumit decide to start a new life abroad? Or will India remain the place they call home forever? Only time will reveal the answer.